Hey, everybody. I hope this live stream or video finds you doing well. If the real truth is to be known, my friends definitely on the East Coast probably won't see this till in the morning. I do apologize about that. But this is an important update about what I've said about the presidency of President Donald Trump. Um, when I was watching social media, it appears that he believes that he can just go in, walk into the White House, and just totally dismantle the whole Affordable Care Act thing. It appears he believes that. Whether he actually believes it or not, I don't know. However, after having done some research about this, my understanding is that there may be an equal chance that what he's going to have to do is go through Congress, the House of Representatives, and the Senate and dismantle it through that way. CBS has called it correct. It's leaning towards that going to be a Republican takeover. And all they need is 218, and they got it. If you do a Google search saying election results of election 2024, you can go in there and verify what I'm saying is true. It appears that they'll may either be the majority or most of the majority. It may be 218 and maybe a little over 218. I'm not sure at this time. When I get updated, I'll be more than happy to come in here and give you guys the update. So, if he has to go through Congress, it looks pretty good that he may have to do that. Sorry about this, folks. But anyhow, if he has to go through that way, I would believe that Congress may say, okay, well, we'll dismantle the Affordable Care Act, but it's going to stay open till the end of 2025. And that way, and that it can end and no policies be sold for 2026, meaning there would be no open enrollment. And I can tell you, I'll update you guys on a company that I had worked for. It was for a call center. Their stock was at its highest peak $98. Now it's worth approximately $5-6 per share. So that means that is not good. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's just not good. When I sit and how call centers will generally work is they'll hire a bunch of people and then they have to let a few of them go because they failed the exam. Surprised, right? And then they'll take in others and then they will let others go because they can't pass the quality and assurance scores. Big amazement there. New on the job, not going to know it well. Hey, let's take advantage of that. And so what they do is they make money in a revolving door. And they love their revolving doors. Had one company that wasn't really in love with that revolving door, but they had to use it to an extent. So, in order for them to become very, very profitable, AI is going to have to take over call centers. Meaning, let's say like there's a call center and they're employing 500 call center representatives, right? Right now it's 500. with the help of AI, with from organizations such as SoundHound AI, they're going to be able to take that number from they'll be able to take that number from 500 employees and maybe even just take it down to about 50 employees. Because, things happen. Computers can't answer everything at this point in time in history. So when it becomes a bigger, more complicated problem, they'll just forward it off to a call center representative for them to handle it. And if it needs escalated, so on and so forth, they'll be able to do that. So this will be a big thing for call centers. They really, I've done do business and have done businesses with organizations to where they don't really want you to talk to a call center representative. It does take a little work to get a hold of a call center representative. But that is the way that it is going. And I'm going to give you guys a little background here. I used to work for a company by the name of Sync 3 Restaurant Solution. They were a call center. They had big names. I mean, of restaurants. I better not go ahead and describe that, but they had huge companies. And you never knew that you was talking to the call center. You always thought you was talking to the restaurant. And what happened was, from my understanding, SoundHound AI has been around since 2005. Let me rephrase that. SoundHound AI has been around since 2005. Well, the owner of Sync 3 decided to work on to bring AI to take all the orders for the restaurants, get them sent to the restaurants, and that way he would be able to cut his expenses with employees. About approximately a year, 4 months ago, maybe a year and a half, I did get notice from a former boss that, hey, they've let me go, as that they were cutting back on employees. And it's like, well, I'm sorry to see that happen. That absolutely did happen, and I now know why. See, SoundHound AI came in and bought Sync 3 Restaurant Solution, including all the accounts. So now they're no longer Sync 3 Restaurant Solution, they are SoundHound AI. And they bought it out from the owner, and he's also now a part of SoundHound AI. And so that's one of the ways that I do know that AI is taking over the call centers. There's other ways. When you see a stock go from $98 down to $5, I don't care if it's over a 5-year period, a 3-year period, or a 1-year period. That's just not good stuff. That is not at all good. Changes have to take place. So they will be making those changes, and I'm sitting here pretty much knowing it. And even if they don't, let's say in theory, they don't make those changes, if they don't make the changes, I can tell you one thing: the Affordable Care Act will probably, more than likely, the way it appears now, it'll be done away with on January 1st of 2026. It's just coming down the pike. There's no way around it. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? Um, so the truth is I have got some big decisions to make. Oh yeah, there's one other thing I was wanting to tell you. So I am going to hold up two books for you. I cannot tell people how to manage their finances or help them manage big life decisions that they are having to make. I am not licensed for it. I am not insured for it. So I'm not a business coach. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a life coach. I'm none of those things. But so I can't get in particulars, but I still can be a friend to you all. I went out and bought the Robert Kiyosaki, his book. If you don't know who he is, his Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. And I have it. Let's see if I can get it enough there. So you see I do have it. And his box set comes with 3 books. And I've read through chapter 1. And I may be making some very, very serious decisions based on it. And I got 2 other books, such as Increase Your Financial IQ and A Guide to Becoming Rich. In the box set, I got Cash Flow Quadrant and A Guide to Investing. So, I am going to be very soon making some very serious decisions based on the fact that the Affordable Care Act is all but over, and the fact that it's time for me to get serious about my life. And that's just the way it goes. And if you're wondering if I'm hurting for money, no, the answer is no. No, I'm just figuring out how to put it to good use for me. Not that I'm out of money. I am not. I can reassure you of that. I have some good investments. Last week was not a bad week for me. So, I am going to be making some big life decisions. And, like I said, the Affordable Care Act is all but gone. And it probably will be gone by December 31st, 2025 will be the last day. Hope I said December 31st, 2025, because that'd be correct. So, and the fact that AI is coming in, I am telling you, there is very few jobs that AI will not be able to take over, such as cashiers. They have to have cashiers. If stores don't have cashiers, they get robbed. They get robbed pretty easily. They cannot take over security. They can to a large extent, but not completely. So companies will be hiring few security guards. It won't be nearly on the level that they have been. When it comes to your jobs like lawyers, doctors, brokers, and house building, home constructions, yeah, that'll be taken over by AI for the most part. There will be some jobs that'll be left to humans only. But for the most part, yeah, it's going to be done by AI. There's a few jobs in construction that we cannot be touched by AI. It has to be done by humans. But let's just say this. Let's say like this is the middle class right now. That middle class is going to get squeezed, and it's going to look like that big. Instead of being this big, it's going to be this big. And I'm telling y'all, you're either going to be the foot, or you're going to be either the tail or the head. Going along with Robert Kiyoski's ideas and his philosophies, as of right now, sounding extremely logical to me. There is a few other businesses that will not be able to be done by AI. Number one is if a vehicle is like uses gas or diesel, AI is not going to, and there's something wrong with the engine, the transmission, AI can't fix it. That actually has to be done by mechanics. But like I said, they're going to dwindle this thing down. And right now, there are reports that I've heard that Trump loves technology. Of course he does. More technology, the more money that people make. And that's how it goes. So that's why I'm saying, you know what, get the box set, get the 2 books that I showed you. Really start considering your futures very, very carefully. And let me tell you something that a person could say, well, you know, being an entrepreneur, being an investor, it's a big risk. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. But you know what a bigger risk is? Sitting around watching your bank account dwindle down to nothing, can't afford nothing, then can't either afford the mortgage or you can't afford the rent, you get evicted. That's a big risk. And you know, breathing, it's a big risk. I can tell you with 100% accuracy that 100% of any being, grass, trees, cats, dogs, camels, whatever else you can think of, if it breathes or needs oxygen or carbon dioxide, you guess what? It dies 100% of the time. So you know what? The thing is that you just got to be willing to take the risk. There's no way around it. I would rather be known as a person who went, if I'm a person that goes down, I want to be known that I went down fighting and fighting hard and not playing games. How everybody else feels about it, you know, it's up to you all. I cannot go in particulars of what I'm looking at doing next. I can just only tell you about the tools that I'm using. So if there is any more information that I do find out, I will probably revisit this topic and talk to you guys about what's really going on. I'm sure there'll be a few changes made, like finding out when the Affordable Care Act is going to end, if it's going to end. And that's probably doesn't look more, it more looks like when, not if. If the Democrats gain control of the House, then we may be looking at a different story. But right now, CBS and Google are in complete agreement that it's probably going to go over to the Republicans, and all they need is 218. That's it. And they're the last time I checked, and I'll tell you what, let me just check this right now, just to make sure I'm giving you up to the date, accurate information. As of this is November 10th, 2024. and it's 10:24 p.m. Mountain Standard Time as I'm giving you guys this. Okay, so the House it went up 214. So, and Democrats have 203. The Republicans only need 4 more to win over the House. And if it does, everything that I said stands. And I am going to go ahead and just make this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm still seeing 5. According to Google search, there is still 5 outstanding that looks like that they're leaning towards the Republican Party. So it looks like everything I've stated here in the update looks good to go. If things change, I'll come back and say, hey, you know what? Things changed. Here's my analysis. As soon as I find out how soon they're going in the Affordable Care Act, of course, I'll let you guys know. I'm only going to say this much. President Trump hates it. He despises it. He does not like it at all. And the only thing I'm going to say is, I understand. So, this is as much of an update as I can give y'all. Hope everything works well for you guys. I love y'all. God bless.